Philip, Tom Hitchcock, how you doing?
I'm good, Tom. How are you?
Not too bad. Bit hot today. It's bit sweaty. Where are you based, Philip?
Well, I'm in Melbourne, so I must be. You're in Melbourne or in
Ah,
Sydney?
Sydney based.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. A bit cooler here today. Normally we got hot weather.
Is it the first day of autumn for us now, or is it?
Today's the 27th. Yeah,
Yeah.
uh, yeah,
Yeah. Anyway, all right. Listen, you and I don't know each other. This is pretty common on my podcast, shall I say? Um,
yeah.
I meet someone whilst recording, which we like. But yeah, I'm very, very interested to hear your story, where you're from, where you're going. So please share who is Philip.
All right. Thank you, Tom. Um, it's I've got a long story, but virtually for the audience and for the podcast today, obviously, I want to talk about the business I'm in, a bit of the philosophy that I have. And for the last 18 years, I've had my own consulting company, and in the last probably 10 years specializing in the leadership space. And to me, that is so important. But going back into my corporate life, where I spent probably over 30 years in senior management roles, working in about three or four different countries. So I had the opportunity to actually, experience it firsthand, as a general manager in sales and marketing, and as HR director. So I've had a lot of good interaction in that space and running and working with some really huge multinationals. When I came back to Melbourne, Sydney is actually my hometown, but they took me and my family. We were in New Zealand prior to that, back to Melbourne to head up another one of their brands. And after 4 years, I lost the passion, and in 2006 created my own company. I've always wanted to. I always like helping people. I'd like to see transformation in others. And one of the things that I took with me was when I ran companies and I ran businesses, people had fun, people belonged, people were recognized. And so when it comes to them being profitable and achieving stuff, they wanted to be that, they wanted to take ownership. I didn't have to force them into it. So call it luck, call it maybe a gift that I had at the time. I took it back into my own business. But again, of course, I had to rethink about it and re-educate myself in the market going forward. It's a very competitive market. Consulting, coaching, speaking, everyone's doing it. What is the point of difference? And one of the things that I find more and more so in today's market, people have heard so much about this stuff that what they're really looking for is integrity. They're looking for authenticity. They're looking for something that there is no BS in it, like someone that has lived life, that has experienced it, because the actual technical side of it is quite the same. We're looking at similar KPIs, but why would one want to work with you? What is the point of difference? What's in it for them? And so that's where I go. It's more about them, their goals, their lives, and where they want to take their businesses to, whether it be large enterprises or smallest medium businesses. It's about their cause and their purpose in life. And the other thing I really am focused on is shared values. And if I bring certain values to my audience, to my clients, and I hope to find similar values because that is so important in moving forward. And then they are more open to you helping them. Recently over COVID, when I say recently was 2025 now, COVID was not 20 and 21, the world collapsed, as we all know. And prior to that, I was, flying around 20 to 30 flights a year around Australia, working my butt off in this field, speaking, coaching, etc. But over COVID, like most businesses, my business went down up to 90% turnover, decrease in turnover. That was crazy. Um, Thank goodness to JobKeeper and some government fundings, I was able to survive, the year. But one thing did actually come out of that. A good thing came out of that. I decided to relook at my whole program, look at what I'm doing. And one of the things that COVID has allowed a lot of people like myself and a lot of businesses is to work online. Before that, people wanted to see you. They're more exposed to having material online. So I moved everything onto online and created my program online, which is what I do now. And further to that, I took my leadership further. So I did my master's in leadership through Deakin. That was very interesting. And the other side of it too, I did my master's in neuro-linguistic programming, which is NLP, which is a form of psychology. You might have heard about that. It's been around since the 60s, and it's how we think, act, and behave. So virtually my program and my philosophy and my material is a combination of technical side of leadership, but also the psychology of it, the self-reflection, and putting that all together and redefining the human being and redefining leaders firstly to examine themselves. How do other people see me? And what is my style? And then next step is to empower them to help their people. I've even gone to the stage where we have development programs for their employees as well, more personal development. And the togetherness and accountability and ownership is critical in all organizations today. So that's why I'm spending a fair bit of my time now. I'm enjoying it because online, much, much easier as we are talking now online. Your podcast has become a big thing as well. I can do my work online, which has been fantastic. So again, discovering new and different things as well in that space.
Okay. All right. There's lots to unpack there, as you know. Okay. You've given me a nutshell of your story, which relates to your business, which I appreciate. There's a couple of commonalities there, which I think a lot of listeners will be able to lean into. One of them is the journey from corporate to SME. Okay. We can't deny corporate success. Otherwise, there wouldn't be corporate. There wouldn't be conglomerates if they didn't have the revenues, the size they do, which is indicative of a success. But there's always a trade-off. There nearly is always there's the appreciation and not being drowned in the numbers, which otherwise you'd get in the SME space where you can have that genuine ownership and appreciation. So you've got this natural progression going from there, and the lessons learned, sometimes how not to do it, how they could improve if they weren't so robust. Okay. And then also you've got the external influence, which was the COVID, which a lot of people can relate to. It's difficult for many people. Some people lost their incomes entirely. Some people's businesses, mine included, went down 90%. It's very difficult. But it did give a window of opportunity if we switched ourselves onto it to create some positive change. And a lot of people did that. A lot of people had some reinventions, some shifts in their careers, shifts in mindset, shifts in the products. Let's have a look at business, look under the bonnet for a bit. And there's lots of reinvention that happened then. So those are the two big milestone points, which I think a lot of people listening to this will probably resonate with.
Yes, absolutely. Firstly, I had to go through that myself, my own mindset. It's hard to take when your turnover's down, because guess what? All my clients were out of business. Why do they need a coach? They got a coach payment, right? So I had to rethink about the whole thing. And there was a small number that still worked, about more deeper into helping really people get out of that. And through that, I created another NFP company called the Winning Mindset Academy. I thought about it long enough, and it's been going on for 4 or 5 years now. And guess what? I created a site for it, and I got into the podcasting business like you're doing. And I found, why did I pick that word? It was the Winning Mindset Academy. I found that when I was doing a lot of seminars, when I say to someone, do you think you'll look yourself as a winner? I got very, very different reactions to people thinking about themselves as winners, because winning in the traditional context for them, some people would be, is what you have, what you possess, what you look like. I've got a car, I've got a lovely house, I've got a great, I'm successful in this. So to them, that was winning. But my winning was completely the opposite to what they were thinking. And I said to myself, why do you think that way? Because to me, you don't have to have all of that to be able to win in life. Winning is yourself. It's your being. It's what you say that you're going to do, and you do it. It's like crossing the road. I'm going to cross this busy road. I've got to the other side. I've won. I've achieved something. It's as simple as that. You don't have to put labels to it. And so, because as you and I know, a lot of people were also positive, but there are a lot of people that were struggling mentally. They went downhill. Guess what? The only business that did well were the bottle shops, liquor. Right? It kept right through COVID. I said, that's the business I want to buy, and it's foolproof. But people went and maybe drank more or console themselves. And you could do that, right? You couldn't walk out, but you could still drink at home. So it's an interesting time what the world was going through. So like you, I mean, I decided to create a podcast, and through LinkedIn, and I had a virtual assistant that actually helped me grow my clientele from 2 to about 12,500 in a couple of years. But also targeting globally any sort of profession that where I saw people that had struggled in their life and now have become successful. I wanted to hear their story.
Yeah.
And so I put that out there and got very, very good responses from people that going, wow, okay, they're just like me. They're everyday people. Yeah, they might be a HR director now, they might be CEO of the company, but they're normal people that also have had challenges just like me. So winning was in a different context of that. I enjoyed to see that transformation. So to your question about, what did we do? Those are one of the things that actually came up about what I needed to do. I've dabbled down on that a little bit now because life's gone back to what we can call the new normality moving forward. And obviously, Wizard Business Consulting was the offshoot of that, right? So people like what I was doing. They've started looking at me for leadership help, things like that. So it was a give and take. And I find in life that it's not all about taking. You need to give 80% to receive back. Even if it's 20%, doesn't matter. You need to give more. You can't say, I'm going to give you and you got to give me back. The world doesn't work that way. And you and I know that it's the ones that give a lot, the ones that probably make the most mistakes in life are the ones in the end that will succeed, that will enjoy the rewards. Yeah, it's just by doing good. There's so much, unfortunately, evil out there right now in the world, stuff that's going on. You go, what is happening? And we need more and more people talking about more positive stuff about, helping each other.
I think there's a nice relationship there with one thing you just said there, which my ears picked up more on, and that was in the mistakes. The people that tend to be more successful later have made more mistakes. And I don't know if you're aware, we don't really know each other, but I classify myself as a mistakeologist and recently did a TED talk on this. And there is a direct correlation to two things, one being performance and the other being wellness. Okay, so how it perceived. And both of those combined attributes, what you're talking about is the winning mindset. So yes, you can create better outcomes if you embrace and change your relationship with failure and mistakes. But if you're not anxious of these mistakes and you don't beat yourself up about them, then there's your winning mindset. You can be in a whole different set of circumstances. You can be in the middle of your own personal COVID. Okay. But if you've got that winning mindset, to look at things with the right perspective, then you're winning regardless.
Exactly. No, 100%. I love my golf. I'm a mad golfer. I don't know about you, but I love my golf. And I'll tell you the story about golf because to me, golf is the game of life. And for people that are not into golf will not understand that. I got into it over 30 years ago by default. I hated the game before that. I thought it was an old man's game. I played high level football, soccer, did my knees in, couldn't play anymore, didn't, had an operation. And someone coaxed me into doing 9-hole, and that was it. I was hooked. Tiger Woods was just making his name in the industry. And what I find about golf is the fact that it really teaches you about life. It's we're vulnerable. We can be very vulnerable. It shows you can get embarrassed about certain things. There's a lot of different things that come out of it. And one of the things I find in golf is that, number one, you're passionate about something. Passion usually overrides challenges and obstacles. No matter how bad you're going, you will keep at it. I was passionate about it, so I went through all the training and the coaching and the embarrassment of maybe not being able to hit the ball when other people are looking at you and things like that. And so, I got through it, and I've got a decent handicap now. But the thing is, it teaches me, and I play golf with a lot of different people. And sometimes you play golf with the same guy and on another course, on the same course that he normally goes to. And you get to that hole and he goes, every time I get to this hole, I hate this hole. Every time I put my ball in the water all the time. So I was saying to him, so why did you just say that? You hate the hole. You're saying you're going to put the ball in the water before you even tee off, right? What are you doing to yourself? Anyway, 50% of the time, it probably goes in, all right? It's what you say to yourself. That's one thing. It's the mindset. The other thing is when you actually hit a ball or when you do a putt, it doesn't go right. You can brood over it and say, damn it, I could have done that. What's wrong with it? Can't change it. Life's the same. You can live by the decision that you make, good, bad, or indifferent, and move on. The more you hang on to it, it's going to affect the next move in life. And as I say, the most important shot in golf is the next one. And life's the same. And the most important decision you make is the next one, not the one you just made, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent. So I really take that, and I talk to people about that in my coaching. I said, it's no difference to how we operate on a daily basis.
I like that. And I think you're right with your analogies and your comparisons to golf and the lessons we can learn from it. It's very hard to disagree with those things, but I think what's important here, and this goes back to your point in leadership, is that elements of self-reflection and awareness. So if you are reflecting constantly and trying to be the best version of yourself, you will see these lessons, not just in golf, you'll see it in nature. You'll see it, just by observing how people move up and down the high street or whatever it is you woke up to. The lessons are there for us constantly. We're surrounded by them.
You're absolutely right. You mentioned something about earlier about not being too hard on yourself. Man, again, on the golf course, this guy's upset. I says, listen, how often do you practice? I don't get a chance to practice. I just come out and play. I says, well, you have to expect what happens on the golf course. You can't be a Tiger Woods if you only play once a month. All right. So to me, input equals output. The more you practice, the better you get. The less you practice, you won't be that good. So virtually what I'm saying is that this is on verge of an insanity. You're not doing much, but you expect an amazing outcome. I said, you've got to accept your outcome based on what you put in. Don't beat yourself up. Enjoy the game. And you think about people in life, they go for the same thing every day, try to be so good, but then they're not putting in the effort to achieve it. It's crazy.
You've got to put in, and as you quite rightly pointed out earlier, you need to put out a lot more than what you expect back, if you expect anything at all.
Yeah.
And that's just a good way of being. It makes you a good human, good for those around you. You lead by example, you leave a legacy, and whatever comes back, you fully deserve.
Absolutely. And another word that I use is deserve. If I hit a bad shot, I always say I deserve that. Rather than just swear, I'd say I deserve that. And the reason why I say that is because The only reason why the ball went there that I didn't want it to go there is because how I executed that shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
me who caused it, right? It's got nothing to do with the wind, the grass, my eyesight. I executed that shot incorrectly. I've got to take ownership, right? And again, it's such a big thing in life where people start pointing the finger at someone else. And I have the old three-finger theory. I don't know whether you've seen this before. Have you seen this three-finger theory before?
Show me.
Okay. So if I do that to you, right, some people will say, oh, you're pointing a gun at me. You know, you get all sorts of things come out. I says, yeah, you're probably right. But if you do that and you say, guess what? Your school principal, your teacher, your mother might have been saying, you are a naughty boy, naughty girl, you did these things wrong, and thing comes out at you, right? I said, as a leader, as a business owner, before you start doing that to the people around you, have a look at these three fingers pointing back at you. If they're squeaky clean, if you've done everything right, then you have the right to point the finger at someone else. Believe me that in most cases, they're probably not that squeaky clean.
That's yeah, I like that. That, in a nutshell, for me, is the human condition.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly right. It's and I can pick people when you talk to them. Well, gosh, they've gone through it life, they've experienced it. They really are. They've taken ownership by things they say and do. Certain things just comes out of their mouth. Okay, this person's been there, they've learned the lessons or they have, but they've come up well. Whereas some others are on the other side. We can't blame them. So if you try and help them to open up, and if they do, fantastic. If they don't, well, then you've done your best. It's their problem, right? It's like a hypnotist once said to me, he says, I cannot hypnotize you unless you let me in.
Yeah. It's very true, that. Very true, that. So,
And it's so true of other people, I said, and it's great philosophies to live by. And I still carry on with that and moving forward, unless I can come up with something even better.
yeah.
That's it.
Oh, mate, I love that. So, listen, we're
Thank
wrapping
you.
up now. Someone's listening to this they like you, they like your story, they like your business, like your wife. They want to make contacts with you. What would be the best way for them to reach out?
Well, they can go onto my website, businessvisits in plural.com.au. And all my details are there, my contact details, everything. And they also can get me on LinkedIn under my name, Phillip Fernandez, because I'm very big on LinkedIn. However, my website and my company's are on there as well. So that's the easiest way to get in touch with me.
Fantastic. Too easy. I'm sure there'll be queues of people coming up. So,
Hope so, Tom.
all right. But listen, Phillip, thank you very much for your time. That was thoroughly enjoyable. It went far too quick.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for the opportunity, Tom.
Hello again, I am Mr. Purple. Thanks again for watching this video. If you like my videos, if you like what we try to do here, please subscribe if you haven't done it already. The other thing that's very popular right now is the t-shirts, the Mr. Purple t-shirts. There's lots of people wearing these at the moment. You can grab yours on our website, copying this link below. So once again, thanks for listening. We love your feedback. Engage with us and speak soon.